on, guys? Carventure Squad back here again. Today's gonna be a little bit different video than messing around with paint and stuff like that. I'll catch you guys up with what's going on in the other video. That other video is gonna be probably a pretty long one and probably just gonna smash everything together with everything that's going on with the car. But today, since the car is pretty much not really drivable right now, we are going to be installing some little goodies I got for Christmas from my girlfriend and also stuff that I bought. So these have to do with basically saving your car. This is what's called the cylinder 4 mod. Subaru and the EJ engines, they did not supply cooling to the cylinder 4, and it can cause overheating, stuff like that. And that's one of the big failure points on some of these EJ engines, is actually cylinder number 4 not staying cool enough, and then it, you know, you bust a head gasket and then you're crying all the way home. So spent, what was it, I think it was like 50 bucks during Black Friday. Got a good deal on this Torque Solutions cylinder 4 mod, and I'm gonna show you guys how to install this, along with I got some silicone hoses from good old Mishimoto, and these, see if I can get them out. They're just nice. They're God, I forget what they call it. They're like pretty durable silicone hoses. They keep the heat out a little bit more. And yeah, they're gonna be replacing some of these just like crappy black ones that are starting to deteriorate. Sorry. Yeah, so basically to start doing all that stuff deals with the coolant. So we are going to try and get under the car. It doesn't have a bumper on it. But we're gonna get under the car and drain all the coolant from the car. So obviously find your radiator. There's gonna be a pitch stop on the bottom, so we're basically gonna take the cap off. Take the cap off now. Oh god, that thing's on there. So we'll take that off now, and then I will get under the car and show you where it is on mine. I do believe this is a Mishimoto radiator. I could be wrong, I'll let you guys know, but I will show you exactly where that little drain valve is, and we'll start draining it, try and get all the fluid out first, and then we'll start doing these little preventative mods and stuff like that, and that's what today's going to be about. So cool, stick with me, guys. Alright guys, so we're back. I found the drain plug on the radiator. Basically what you're going to want to get yourself a pretty big pan. I got this God, I forget what this is. I think this is like a 5-gallon pan. It's pretty big. It'll catch all the overflow. And the drain plug, see if I can get you guys in here, is going to be right here. And stick my hand in there, we'll get it going, twist it off. It's going to come out pretty quick. Yep. All right. Yep. Just always be ready for that. It's gonna come out pretty fast. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of cleanup, but that's okay. But yeah, that's what the plug looks like. Basically, just stops the coolant from coming out. And now I'm probably gonna give it about 10 minutes to drain completely. Once it's all done draining, then we'll start getting to the hoses and everything. Catch you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, so the last of the fluid is dripping out right now, so I'm not too worried about it. There's probably not too much left in the system. Just a precaution, there is going to be coolant in the lines, so be ready for that. If you're in a space where you don't want to get coolant anywheres, I would keep your pan down there just for, you know, anything that drips out. But you can grab yourself a rag, which I don't have handy yet. I'm gonna grab a rag. But to get started, we are going to need to remove the air intake, this Cobb air intake. So I'm gonna remove it here at this point and then detach the MAF sensor. That will give us space to these expansion tank hoses that we need to replace. I believe we replace one of the hoses that goes to the turbo. And then I know there's a couple other hoses around here. I think one of them goes to the radiator. I'm probably gonna have to look that up, but I'll let you guys know which hoses go where. And also, it's not recommended because you have the clamps from the previous hoses, but I ended up getting a whole bunch of new hose clamps. These are like pretty good grade quality. Makes it easy, make everything the same size, so when I'm taking things off, and then it's like shiny new hardware also. So I mean, we're just trying to make the engine bay look nice. So yeah, we'll get started. We'll remove the air intake, and then we'll get going on the hoses. Sweet. All right, guys, for removing these hoses, I'm going to be using these long needle nose clamps, and then also this big pair of clamps also. I'm going to be putting these vice grips, these locking vice grips, on the end of the hoses, and then I will get my rag ready when I'm taking the hose off, because there is going to be fluid in the hose, so it's smart to stop one end of the fluid. So basically you just like clamp them on there so no fluid can get out on one end, and then when you remove the other end, you be careful about it, take it off so it doesn't dump all the fluid out, and then you pour that fluid into the container or into your rag or whatever you want to do. So we are going to start on these two hoses. They go to the expansion tank, and then it goes to the top of the radiator, and then this little I don't know what the hell that is, this little doohickey right here. I'm assuming it's another piece to the radiator or the expansion tank that just returns the fluid. So we're gonna do these two lines first. All you need to do is just clamp these little these clamps, clamp them down, and then pop the line off. And then I am going to replace these clamps with these ones and the new hoses. So yeah, I'm going to do these two first, and then I'll get back to you, show you how it looks, and yeah, we'll go from there. All right, guys, so we got the first hose on. You can just see the comparison in quality. I mean, no offense to Subaru, but man, like Mishimoto, these upgrades, they're nice and shiny. It's gonna make it a lot nicer to clean. Well, probably won't get dirty as fast, but like, here's a comparison. Definitely gonna be flowing more coolant to the places that it needs to go. These lines I feel like they're definitely thicker, and then they're more heat resistant also, so wherever the coolant's going, it's gonna be colder, which is really good. So I took off these clamps, and like I told you, with this set of clamps that I bought, put it on there. I'm just making it look nice and shiny. So yeah, we're gonna continue. We're gonna do this hose next. It goes from the overflow down to here. So yeah, we'll do that next, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you a little trick to get some of these hoses off. Like, some of these hoses are probably from factory, and this car is 15 years old. So if they haven't been replaced, then they could be stuck on there pretty good. Basically, you're going to get yourself a set of grips. You're going to grab the hose. You don't chomp on it, because you don't want to break anything, especially this overflow tank is plastic, so you don't want to break the nipple on it. Basically, you grab the hose and you just rotate it back and forth to break it loose, and then at that time you should be able to just remove it off. And also, I'm gonna leave this tube facing up so no liquid gets out, if it wants to cooperate. There we go. And then, like I told you, I put a pair of vice grips on the end of the hose, and we're gonna get this little clamp off. See if I can do this with one hand and record at the same time. Maybe not. Oh, there we go. Okay, so you just move it all the way over. Do the same thing. Just rotate it a little bit, give it a little jiggle with the clamps. Set those aside, and you should be able to pull it right off. Yep, here it comes. There we go. There's a little bit of liquid in this one. So I'm going to set the camera down and I will be right back. Alright guys, so we got both of these lines on. Now I'm going to work. There is a hose under here, kind of hard to see. It's from the expansion tank to the engine. So I believe these are 12 millimeter bolts. So just the two 12 millimeter bolts should remove this expansion tank. I don't see anything else. So we're going to remove the expansion tank and then we're going to get to this hose under here. And it's going to be, I believe it's this small guy, this L-shaped. So yeah, we'll do that next. And once I get the tank off, I'll show you what's up. Alright guys, don't be mad at me. I know it's filthy under here. I'm cleaning as I'm going. But we got the expansion tank off. It is two 12 millimeter bolts right here and here. And yeah, this is the little L-shaped hose. So there was one of these clamps that you just undo with a flathead, and then we're probably going to reuse that just to make things a little bit easier on us. I don't know what these clamps are exactly called, but this style clamp, I'll show you a little bit closer. This style clamp that you just push together, that's what we're going to end up reusing on this hose, because it's going to be a little hard to tighten that down. So yeah, we'll do that, and once I get that installed, I'll get right back to you guys. Alright guys, so since I have quite a bit of aftermarket stuff on here, this L-shaped hose that kind of goes along with this one is a little bit smaller. Like the inlet's a little bit smaller than this, so I may not be able to use the Mishimoto hose, which kind of sucks. But that's alright. I didn't think I was going to be able to use everything. So I went ahead and started doing the power assist lines. So there's one that goes to the power assist reservoir and one that goes from the power assist reservoir to the engine. And basically I just did both of those. That's a little bit dirty, so you guys be prepared for fluid coming out. But basically this reservoir just pops right out. There's a little clip right here. Pops out, and you can kind of manipulate the reservoir so not a lot of fluid comes out while you're doing the new hoses. So I may stick this old hose back on. It looks like it's still fine, it's still doing good. So I'll throw that back on, throw the expansion tank back on, and then I believe this last hose goes to the turbo, the coolant for the turbo. And I'm not exactly sure where this one goes. I'm probably gonna have to look up where that one goes. So yeah, we're gonna put everything back together with the coolant, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, so I think I am done with the Mishimoto hoses, and gonna be working on that cylinder 4 mod here in a second. Just want to show you what it looked like when we were all done. So I put the turbo hose on. That's for the coolant to get to the turbo right here. These two are from the expansion tank and they go to the radiator. There's one that goes to the power steering assist. There's one that comes from the power steering assist to the engine block. So yeah, that's all I was able to fit on mine. I have this one remaining, and then also this. I think these are for if you have a completely stock engine. They replace some of the hoses that you may not have when your engine's modified just a little bit, or if it has, front mount intercooler, yada yada yada, turbo, bigger turbo, different turbo. So I think that's going to be it on the Mishimoto hoses. So I will just keep these two in a little baggie, set them off to the side. Yeah, and we're going to get started on this cylinder 4 mod. So basically all it does is it goes into the block of the engine, and then we have to splice, basically cut one of the tubes over here that has coolant going through it, and then you just put that mod, cylinder 4 mod, in between, and then it allows coolant to get to the cylinder. So yeah, we are going to I'm probably going to remove this portion of the front mount intercooler kit, which goes to the turbo, just so I could stick my hand down there. So this little L shape I'm going to remove, and then we'll assess how hard it's going to be to get down to cylinder number 4. So yeah, that's the next part. Here we go. What's going on, guys? So we're working on the cylinder 4 mod, and I'm sorry, but I jumped ahead a little bit. I can't even get the camera down there. I will show you the best I can, and also in the video I will pop up a little diagram of what I am talking about. So on the driver's side, so there's steering wheel right here. Driver's side of the engine. On the back side of the engine, see if I could kind of point here, get some light going. So you can see where that tube is going. That's my torque solutions, and you can also see where it's plugged in. So I just have it screwed in right now. It's hand tight. I used some RTV on the end of it, and then a little bit of thread tape also. It is, you want to make sure it's nice and snug in there, because obviously you don't want to put your whole entire engine back together, or not your entire engine back together, but you don't want to put all this stuff back together and then find out that it's leaking coolant from where you just put the mod in. So yeah, this is the plug, which already has, I believe that's a little bit of RTV already on it, that red stuff. So this is the plug that is in the back of the engine where the cylinder number 4 mod goes. This is going to be a T12. I had to actually go to my local Home Depot and pick up a set. I just grabbed all these freaking brand new Craftsman. So a T12 is this one right here. It's a pretty big hex head, and yeah, you just slap it on. I put it on one of my extensions, my half inch extension bars, so I could get a little torque on it. And I think it's in there with maybe about 60 to 90 foot-pounds of force. So it's not in there too bad. There's just not too much room to wiggle around the ratchet, but that's okay. Once you start getting it unthreaded, it's only got like 5 or 6 threads on it, so it's not too difficult to get out. But yeah, so we got the torque solutions in there. I'm going to probably undo these 2 hoses. I believe we have to cut into one of these hoses anyways. These go to the heater core, which is where this little mod is going to steal some of the coolant to cool the cylinder from. So I'm going to undo these 2. Let's see if I can get a little bit of light in there. I'm going to undo these 2 right down there at the clamps. Once again, just be ready for any fluid to come out. I'm probably going to pinch them off. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do, just so I could get a little bit more room in there, so I could get in there with a crescent wrench, adjustable crescent wrench, and then just make sure that thing's nice and snug, not going to come loose, because that would be really bad. But yeah, we're going to do that, and then once we finish tightening that down, we're going to figure out how to hook up this T-fitting and which tube to tap into. All right, so I'll be right back. All right, guys, so we got the torque solutions tube all tightened down right there. So this bottom tube, try to keep the light on it, where my finger is right here, that's going to release a little bit of coolant, just to let you know. So just be ready for that. I threw a napkin down there and my pan's underneath it. But yeah, taking those 2 tubes off gave me a lot more room to spin a wrench. So I just have this really small but wide jaw adjustable wrench. Let me see, I think this one tells you what size it is. It looks like it's a 25 millimeter or 1 inch. I believe it's 1 inch. is going to be the wrench size. I will let you guys know in the video, probably somewhere in a corner or something like that. I'll let you know exactly what size it is. So now I'm going to be, I have to actually look it up because I don't know which tube to tap into, but it's going to be one of those 2 tubes that I just took off that we're going to tap into and put that T-fitting in. So once I figure that out, I'll come back to you guys, let you know, and we'll start cutting. All right, guys, so we figured out which hose. So it's gonna be a little bit different for different years, make and models. For the, I believe the website said 2007 older EJ engines. So this is 2006 STI. So it's gonna be, you're gonna splice into the return from the heater core, which is gonna be the bottom tube. So there's a firewall. These are the 2 tubes I removed earlier, right here, 1, 2. It's going to be this bottom one that goes to the black pipe over here. Let's see if I can move this out of the way. So you can tell the 2 different colors. One is silver and one is black. The one on the bottom is the black one that we're going to be splicing into. So I kind of mocked it up. It's really hard to do this with 2 hands and hold the light. But I mocked it up right where this hose makes this L. So I'm gonna cut it right here to just straight as possible with a really sharp blade. And then basically the fitting's gonna sit just like this. So the cylinder 4 mod's gonna go in here. This is gonna go to the silicone to the return. And then this is going to go to the actual tubing, which is right here when I cut it. So it'll basically take out this right angle. All right, so I'm going to get to cutting and mocking it up, tighten everything down, and then I'll show you exactly what I did. I will also post pictures from the internet that I know of to help you guys out, but this is the best way I can describe it, and once I finish, I'll show you guys. Be right back. All right, guys, so we just finished up. I'm going to try and show you guys what I did. Let's see if we can put the phone right there. You can kind of see. So, return line's right here. It's going to that black return hose. So I cut a chunk, I want to say about 2 inches long. That goes to that T-shape fitting. The other half of the T-shape is down on the torque solution. And then that top half is connected to the top of the T-fitting. Super hard to describe. So I will throw in pictures from Torque Solution, and hopefully that will help you guys out. But yeah, that is the cylinder 4 mod installed. All those clamps are supplied with the kit. You just want to torque them all the way down so they're nice and snug. Nothing's going to come loose. Basically, the next step is going to be take your radiator plug. You're gonna be putting that back in that bad boy right down at the corner of the radiator down there. You can kind of see it. And then, yeah, you're gonna fill it back up with coolant and water, whatever your car recommends that you fill it up to. I believe it's 2 jugs of coolant. I have not bought the coolant yet, but I'm gonna get 2 jugs of coolant and then possibly try and burp the system, because I have a lot of new lines, like all those new lines, Mishimoto lines that I just put in, are gonna need to get fluid through them, especially like all the return hoses and everything like that. So we're gonna be burping the system. Basically, to do that, you're gonna wanna fill the system all the way up. You're gonna wanna keep this cap undone, and you're gonna let the car idle. I think you have to do heat cycles, which is you turn the heater on, and that basically rotates water through the water pump and everything like that. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. You got to do like heat cycles, and doing those heat cycles burps out the water, or burps out the air from the system. So yeah, that is that's the install on the Mishimoto hoses and the Torque Solutions. Here's their little thing, Torque Solutions cylinder number 4 mod. I got a lot more coming for this car, guys. Stay tuned. I'm gonna try and make an update video on just what is going on with this whole entire thing. So yeah, those are a little bit of preventative maintenance down the road and some nice dress up silicone hoses. So yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, find it informative, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell, guys. Stay notified for the next STI video. And I really do appreciate you guys for watching. If you have any questions, just let me know down in the comments. Peace out, guys.